In this course, we are in MIT5101, Computer Applications in Education. Our topic of focus is on internet technologies. My name is Dr. Gikadi Joyce, and we are going to focus on today's topic on internet technology. As we focus on this topic, it's first important we remember what is our key intention, what is the purpose of this topic. So in this topic, we want to identify, to understand, and to have knowledge to enable us apply internet technologies in education. So what is the importance of this internet technology as part of our purpose of this topic? So internet technology has become or have become a key tool in what we do as practitioners. That means as researchers, as teachers, and as administrators or educational leaders. So they have a lot to offer, and therefore it's important we understand the key technologies available. We also understand how to use them. And because there are also many, we are going to illustrate with some few, and then we say learning is long life, and that means what we get is, our purpose is to get understanding of how to explore and how to continue learning on using advanced internet technologies as they evolve, and how to integrate the new ones to the earlier ones or to the existing ones we have. So that forms the basis of this lecture as our session today. So with that, we are going to see what we have. And as I said, we have a lot we can do in this topic. We have so many internet technologies. And I'm using the word, as you can see, internet surface, because we said today in computing, we are result-oriented. We are value-oriented as opposed to the technical functionality. So it is on that note that we are calling them surface, because they will be offering us some value in what we do as professionals. So we are going to highlight a few, and then we engage into details with some of the selected surfaces. So the first obvious surface that sounds obvious but not very obvious in our context is email. So email, of course, we know it allows you to send, receive messages. But what is the purpose of email in our context as educators? What can they do? Or what does they allow us? What do they allow us to do? What could be the challenges or limitations that we have to be careful about in doing this, or in using emails? So email is an application that is hosted on the internet, and basically it allows users to communicate. And one of the key strengths of emails, they allow you to communicate, or they make communication more efficient. And another added benefit on that communication is that they are asynchronous. Asynchronous in computing means somebody will send a message, you don't have to sit there wait for it like you would wait for a letter from the postman, but it would mean you can read your message later, you can read it 24/7. So they are synchronous, and at that point you receive them, you also have more flexibility to reply. So it sits on your email account until you open, you read, and then reply. So they provide flexibility. They also have capability of shareability or scaling. You can send an email to so many people at a goal. Another capability that email come with that is of use is that you can also be able to share huge data using email. That means you can attach files, you can attach content. So that means the communication you are making could make a lot of relevance, especially in our education context. We want to share content, we want to share resources, so emails are going to support you with that. Another advantage, so we can call these things capabilities, advantage, or benefits, so depending on how you transpose them. Another capability is that, or rather a benefit, is like email software or apps are free to use. So when you open a Gmail account, you don't pay for it. So you can send 1,000 emails per day. Nobody will ask you. You can attach your content to the capacity that the program holds. And you can also, within that, what you are sending, it provides you, or as it advances, you are able to organize your content so that the readers can follow what you are saying. Like you can use folders, and we use zipped folders as attachment to an email. So we shall see what is zipped folder in a practical session, so that you are able to put documents that are related together, put them in a folder. That's like one bag. Then for you to use that in the email, it has to be zipped to go as one document. So that way it is able to consolidate and make your communication more efficient. So the next service is World Wide Web. So World Wide Web is what makes internet really useful in what we do today. So all really of value. So any document, any content for that matter, even from a layman's point, any content you are able to access on the internet is hosted courtesy of World Wide Web. So it provides capability to host your document on the cloud. The cloud is the internet space, is what we are calling cloud. It's a simple, in a simple definition. So World Wide Web provides capability to host document on the internet. So it's a surface. The research material you will be looking for, the content you look from the internet cannot be there without being hosted on the World Wide Web. The next one is search engines. Search engines, I am sure most of us, we are familiar with Google as a search engine. We have Google Scholar for people who want to get more academic content or qualified content for academic use. So search engines enable you. Now, what is hosted in the World Wide Web is so massive, is so huge, and it can really overload you. So for you to have easy access, to have easy retrieval of content from the internet, we use search engines. So you are able to specify the focus. And we are going to later learn about searching skills on how to search content on the internet. So you go to Google, you write your keywords. That's basically most of the common criteria we use. And then it pops you up with all related documents. So you use your keywords plus operators. Then you are able to come up with relevant content. Google Scholar, we said, like as you're in academic, it's very important you learn to use it for your academic work. You are going to get more quality content that is peer-reviewed. And of course, reducing the bulk, the information overload you get from Google that will bring all forms of content. So Google Scholar helps you to sieve that and leave you with more quality materials. The other one is cloud computing. So we are going to be learning more about cloud computing in a few minutes. So cloud computing, cloud we said means internet space. So cloud computing allows us to, or internet allows us to have tools, services that are hosted on the cloud, and we call them tools because they serve as applications or platforms that enable users to do their tasks. So we have services like Google Docs. So Google Docs come with various services. You can use the software without having it in your computer. So you don't need to install word processor. If you have Google Docs, you can use the cloud word processor. Excel is there. You can also have the Google Docs as a collaborative tool. And you can also use Google Doc to store your work, or to share your work and work collaboratively in those docs. So it has various benefits. Padlet is a tool that allows you to share ideas, like a discussion group. But now you're on the cloud, you're online. When you're a distance learner, you are told to have a discussion group. You can use a tool like Padlet to share your ideas. All of them are consolidated, and then you will be able to have that functionalities for a group discussion that is shared, that is visible to everyone. So those tools are available on the net, and they are free to sign up. So we shall explore them later, or you get a task to explore them. Maidmaster is a brainstorming tool, is a mind map tools that is meant for tasks that are problem solving. those who are science teachers, mathematics teachers, you have those things that you want to do problem solving, or you want to apply problem solving methodologies. So Maidmaster provides a tool that enables users to do better brainstorming, and also to do mind mapping, so that your ideas are feasible. You can follow them, you can recap them, you can reuse them. So it's an online tool that's free. Then Wall Wishers, again, they work some similar way to Padlet. You share ideas, but it quickly allows you, if you are brainstorming on a concept, you write what you think about it, and then people will have shared ideas. So it's actually a wall that allows users to share ideas, visible to everyone, easy to update, and then all of them will be on the same page. So another crowd tool is Google Classroom. Right now, today we have schools that are already using Google Classrooms. Maybe it's there in your school. And Google Classrooms is an online system or e-learning system. It allows teachers to build classes for their students, and from whatever level of education is easy to use, then you are able to apply it. And Moto allows you to manage graphic content, to present your diagram. Those who teach biology or topics with or subjects with illustrations, they can use it to andmoto.com. That's how you get it. Then Plessy.com is a presentation software like PowerPoint, online, freely available. You can access it anywhere you have net. You don't need to install the software. So they are free to subscribe, but if you need the advanced service, of course, you will subscribe online. Dropbox, again, is another crowd tool. So it allows you to collaborate. It allows you to store your work, your documents. So it may serve as a storage device, as a communication device, and as a sharing device. So Dropbox. So in the assignment, we shall see what are some of these tools that we are going to explore practically, and also get into depth of what they do, and of course, as they do, what could be the limitations. So we shall get back to that. File transfer protocol is another service that we get via the internet. We are able to share files without having to set them up. So you have a number of users. Maybe you are working in one company, you are in one department, but different departments, so you can have that enabled. So you don't need to send things via email. So you can use the FTP to share that. Groupware tools means you have group support capabilities. So you can do group work, discussions, group work online. So they are various, that's why I'm categorizing them. So those are things that from Google Docs, it supports the groupware, among other software that support group work. Social networking or social media. This one you don't need to be told about. All of us love it. It came the other day, but it has surpassed most of what we have been using before. From WhatsApp to Instagram to Twitter, all these are social media. So social media is a key area of interest today. It is being researched, not yet exhausted. And what it means is that what are its implications in education? What are its area of use? What are the likely implications in education for us? So that's an area of further exploration. Now we come back to cloud computing. Cloud computing, now we have said it has various services. So what about it is a tool for teaching and learning. So remember, we are in education. So there is so much we can say about it, but now our focus is on teaching and learning within the focus of our course. So there are two categories of cloud tools. So there are those that are proprietary, and there are those that are open source. Proprietary means they are commercial, you have to subscribe, you have to pay for them. Open source means they are free to use. So, and open source is a key concept in education, gaining a lot of popularity, interest, and we need to assess its implication, open source, for this case is open source applications. We also have open source content. But at our area of coverage today, we are interested with open source cloud applications, all cloud services. So what is good with them, all these cloud services? These cloud services are good because they are cheap technology. As we said, most of them could be free. They are also flexible and scalable. So you can use them anywhere. You don't need to carry your laptop. You don't need to keep installing software. They are scalable means that even as you increase the size of your users, as you are in Google Classroom, for example, if you had 10 students, the other class, they are 50, so you can easily upscale without requiring a lot of additional resources. Collaborative opportunities is another advantage. So we have talked about groupware. So that is a key competence we want to learn today. So they bring data, and collaboration is very important in education, from students to teachers. So we could be sharing resources, we could be sharing a lot of things about our practice and how we are going to make it better, or how to support our students better. The other one is it promotes user independence, because you are not tied to what you have to do every time. It means it is open-ended, it is flexible, so you can have that opportunity to tailor-made it, to customize this open source software to your needs. So they are customizable. That's what we mean by independence. And of course, you can work from anywhere, like we have said. That's also independence because they are on the net. So expanded opportunities to use IT, they are everywhere, mostly freely available. So they expand that opportunity. That's an obvious advantage. And of course, they allow us access to the latest technology. So not every organization, not everybody will be able to jump to technologies as emerge. But when they are on the cloud, it means we only need to know there's a new software. Yesterday we had Skype as a cloud service for communication, video conferencing. Then today we have another one called Zoom. Tomorrow another one will come, or there are many others. So we only need to jump from one website to another quickly, sign up, and continue using. So they give us a lot of access. So this slide, we just have an example of Google Cloud services that are relevant in education. So we talked of email, Gmail, you already know that. Then we have others that, like Google Docs, you can create your Word document there. You can also have a presentation there because the software is there. You also have the collaboration tool with Google. It also have the blogging capability. You can also form groups. And then there is a Google Reader that allows you to be able to track relevant material in your area. So each of these shows, and there is also a Google Notebook. It's an example of what cloud services and how they can be and how they can be used in education. They are already being used, and they will continue being used. Now, our discussion at this level, I said, is even more critical. We don't just need to know there are those tools, but we want to know when we turn to using Google Docs, what are the implications? What do we have to do and not do? What do we need to be more keen about? What do we need to teach our students who are using it? So that's the critical debate. And in the first place, you learn how to use them. Then you need to understand the implications. That is one focus in this course. So that's about cloud computing. It's a very interesting topic today, and also a topic that needs more research. So you are invited to join other researchers at this level. You are training as a researcher. So the next idea we have to think about is what are the key dimensions of ICT in education. So ICT is too broad. It will continue to grow. But for us in education, we need to think about ICT within themes that support us to be able to be focused. So what I have here is this diagram, learning through ICT, learning with ICT, and learning about ICT. So what do each of them mean? For example, learning about ICT. It's what we are doing now. We are learning about ICT because we shall be learning specific applications, how they work, how to use them, what they are for. That's learning about ICT. So I'll tell you to go to word processor, MS Word, and do something, do a task. That's learning about ICT. And by the end of the course, you'll be asked to illustrate doing a task in word processor. That way you'll have learned how to use MS Word, learning about ICT. So it's learning how to use various applications and how to apply them. The other one is learning through ICT. This also has a relevance to us. Most of you are distance learners. So when you're distance learners, you are only learning. So learning through ICT, we mean we are learning virtually, we are online, we are distance learners. So we are using technology to learn. Like even the lecture I'm giving now is part of learning through ICT, the delivery mode. That's what we mean. The third component is learning with ICT. We said we are teachers basically, even if you are not practicing today, you must be supporting something towards the classroom. So when you are learning with ICT means in your classroom, or when you are in that classroom, you are using ICT to teach your student. Like now I'm using a PowerPoint, I'm using a projected scenario to teach that ICT. So learning with ICT means how you are able to support your student learn using ICT supported platform. So those are the three components that are of our interest, and they help us to focus and to think about each of these. What are the benefits or potential benefits? What could be the limitations? And in that case, in the long run, what are the implications to the general educational sector and the society at large? So that is the debate we need to continue having, especially at our level where we take a leadership position. So think about this. So when we just say we are learning about ICT, we are learning MS Word. How are we learning it? How are we gaining from it? And what skills, or do those skills really come out? Are we going to achieve our learning outcomes, learning about ICT? When we learn through ICT, e-learning, when we are distance learners, what are the implications? What are the requirements? What must the university do? What must you do as a student? So what are our responsibilities and how can we improve this? So you have to contribute to that debate at your level. Learning with ICT is that as you go to your classroom, today you said you'll use a YouTube channel to illustrate a concept. So how are you going to think that that method or teaching method is going to really be effective? So it creates a lot of debate within us. So in summary, I summarized the diagram in those dimensions. We said learning about ICT is simply learning the skills for each application, Word, Excel, how to use the cloud, etc. Learning with ICT, we have already said, is when you use your projectors in the classroom, when you use a smart board. Those schools have smart board. So when you see these terms, some of you, I don't know what you imagine is a smart board, but it is your homework to explore, but it means it's automatically enabled, and there is a lot you can do with a smart board. It's not like a whiteboard or a blackboard that you use. So it's technology enabled. So not very common in many schools, but it is there in some schools, especially in the private schools. Learning through ICT, we said you could be a distance learner, you could be learning, that means you're learning online, you could have virtual reality. Virtual reality means you are trying to simulate a real life condition online. For some people learn through that. If you go to airplane or to learn to be a pilot, they will be going to be using a lot of virtual reality. If you go to School of Medicine in some universities today, they are going to be doing a lot of learning with virtual reality, and its main focus is to use it to enable you illustrate concepts, learn concepts that are very expensive to learn real life or very risky, like airplane. So you will not take a pilot in the air in their first day. So they have to learn through virtual reality a simulated aircraft environment until they become better to go on their own. Now, principles of ICT in the curriculum. What are those principles? Principles of ICT in the curriculum, of using ICT in the curriculum, principles of using ICT in the curriculum. So what we said part of this course we need to know what are the best practices, what are our guide. So there is so much technology, we can learn so much on our own, being taught, we have already learned, some of you are already smart to some degree, but what this course reminds us or empowers us is that we must bear these principles in mind. When you talk about principles, they are standard guidelines that are going to make what we do more effective and more sustainable. So, and now this one is in the context of school education setup. So one purpose why we use ICT in education is that one, the primary goal, the core business, you can use it to manage your call center, you can use it to manage your security system, but one purpose of ICT in education is that it must be used, or the core value is to enhance teaching and learning. So when you invest in ICT in your school, what is the percentage that is directed to promoting teaching and learning? So think about it. If not, you have a lot of other things being done, very complex technologies, but they are not being used in the classroom or by the teachers, then there could be a limitation. The other one is about development of ICT skills. So learn to teach ICT, to use ICT in an integrative manner. It's not a separate subject that you tell students, today we are becoming computer literate. We are saying they need to be integrated within the learning objectives, within the curriculum. So that way it is going to become more valuable and more embedded within us and within our students. Planning for ICT use should be done at school level. It should be an agenda of priority. It's not an afterthought. It is not something that comes when people have little to do, but it should be one of the leading agendas. It must be embedded in the school plans that is budgeted for, implemented, and well supported from the top management. So we said we shall be administrators, we shall be part of the school management at the level we are studying, or we are already at that level. So remind people in the sector that that is what ICT needs to, it need to get a focus from the top level so that we get enough support until it gets to the intended users, that is the teacher and the student. The other one is that the role of the teacher is very important. As you plan, as you budget big budgets, engage the teachers, involve them so that what you're doing, what you're planning for them, they'll have a shared, what we call a shared vision, a shared goal. So as teachers must be involved by the management as they plan for us to be able to have effective ICT in education or in the school curriculum. Teachers also, not the least, must also have a means. As we use ICT, we have learning objectives. At the end, we have means to be able to have means. As we use technology, are we able to assess the learning outcomes? So we need to be very careful about that so that we measure what is not measured is not done. So we must have a means to measure our outcome. So as we move towards the end of the lesson, I want to give you an assignment. And the assignment I want to give is more of self-development. So I want, when you go to cloud computing, I want you to identify 3 tools of your choice. I gave some few examples. And attempt to use them, get a scenario that you are able to solve with them, and at a later date, we shall be able to share our experiences. So I don't want you to do a written assignment. I want you to have an experience that we shall have a means of sharing. So that's one part of the assignment. So illustrate one of these tools, whether it's Google Docs, Maidmaster, and many others. So do that. Then the other thing that you want to do, I want you to research more on implication of use of social media in education. What are the implications of use of social media in education? So that's a discussion. So that means you light up as an assignment. So what are the implications? Implications means both the negatives, the positives, and other things that are going to affect other things we do in education. So with that, we come to the end of the lesson. And what I would like to say, let's engage with the assignment seriously, and we shall be able to review our how we are achieving our learning goals. Thank you.
These televised lectures supplement our robust online learning going on our MKU online platform. You can view more on our televised lectures via our online platform. We are in a digital era, and Mount Kenya University knows this. The following are the steps to follow so as to complete your online application. Download the application form from the website www.mku.ac.ke. Attach copies of your academic certificates and ID. Pay the application fees via M-Pesa pay bill number 270988. Your ID is the account number. 2,000 shillings is the charge for a postgraduate. You can also deposit in the bank accounts provided on the website. Then email all the above to apply@mku.ac.ke.